fourth night of competition at AusCycling's Track National Championships here in Brisbane was a really stacked program with under-19s, paracyclists and a few of our big hitters in the Elites program, Kate.
We had a lot of familiar names from this week. There were some Aussie records, Scott. The boards were blisteringly fast.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the under-19 men in the keirin. They must maintain that position behind the bike for the first lap. No one is allowed to, even if you want to go to the back from the front, you're not allowed to do it after in the first lap of the race. And it's now the South Australian that goes to the front with 2 laps to go.
Well, Meares has been getting some great results riding from the front. He is a confident rider, but stuck there a little bit boxed in was Ryan Elliott. Sitting in second now.
Meares takes them to the bell, and it's a big race between the two sprinters we've seen over the last couple of days. And here comes Ryan Elliott up to the back wheel of the South Australian. Meares trying to hold him off, but the speed of the Queenslander. Ryan Elliott with time to celebrate as he comes down to the line. He's been the fastest all week and proves it once again. Ryan Elliott, the new Queensland sprinting sensation.
Well, wasn't Ryan Elliott absolutely spectacular? 2 gold medals in 2 sprint events. And Scott, next up were the under-19 women's sprinters.
2 laps to go now for these riders. Stevens has been the fastest. She was the fastest qualifier. She's one up in this best of 3. Putzika needs to do something special to take it to a decider. Willis Hell did it in the race for the bronze medal. Can Putzika, the rider from New South Wales, do that here in the race for gold? Stevens wins, she gets the gold. She wants that. She's had a couple this week, and here we go. The race is on. 1 lap to go. It's for gold. Stevens leads into the final lap now, coming down the back straight, and here comes Putzika up onto the outside of Stevens. This is a fantastic ride from Putzika. She has to win this to take it to a decider. She's fighting hard around the outside. Stevens fights back on the inside though, and that's enough to win gold. Gold to Queensland, and Emma Stevens goes 2 straight to win gold in the under-19 women's sprint. But a great ride from Tyler Putzika as well.
A sensational ride from Putzika. In fact, Emma Stevens was not at full speed when Putzika kicked with half a lap to go. She got out of her seat again before she sat down and rallied all the way to the line. And then she did pick up a bit of speed out of that last bend. The throw to the line, it secured her that gold medal. That was a lot tighter than I think she was expecting, Scott, because with less than half a lap to go, you should be at full acceleration.
Some great skills on offer from our next generation of young women's sprinters, following the footsteps, of course, of Anna Meares. I like the skills that they produced. We also had a lot of the paracyclists here, a very important season for them as they are also able to race in the Commonwealth Games. So qualification and performances in front of national selectors were important.
It was, and Scott, we had all of the big names from Tokyo and from World Championships, from Paige Greco, Meg Lemon. We also had Emily Petricola out on track. Darren Hicks, of course, he is such a well-known name. Alastair Donahue was back, and possibly with a hairstyle for the ages. Scott, they really put on a very good show.
It's always good to see the rainbow colours of world champions on the track. After that, we had the under-19 women's Madison. Only 4 teams, but really competitive all the way down to the final sprint. Well, they'll take the maximum points. They'll take the gold medal. That was determined a couple of sprints ago. They were the strongest team, really dominated. And I can tell you, crossing the line in second place was Amelia Mulhern. So they held on for the 6 points.
Well, Sophie Ma, her 3rd gold medal for the week, and this time holding hands with Lucy Stewart to do so. It may have been a small field, Scott, but it was not small on quality.
Well, in the race for the women's team pursuit, it was Queensland versus South Australia, and the strength of the Australian individual pursuit champion, Maeve Plouffe, that was on show.
And Maeve Plouffe is doing the lion's share of the work.
Well, that's another lap on the front from her. It's an extraordinary performance. She really is absolutely driving this South Australian team. They're about to come around to the finish now, and Maeve Plouffe has done the last several laps, in fact. All 4 riders still together, and 4:19.7.
And that blows away the current Australian Championship record. That is by a solid 8 seconds. 4:27.450, Scott, was the previous record. 4:19.729. That wasn't close. That was a landslide. Well, the women's team's pursuit, Maeve Plouffe, we expected her to shine. Maybe not 3 laps on the front at the end, kind of shine, but what a spectacular performance from her.
After that, though, was the women's team sprint, so the opposite end of the spectrum. However, Chloe Moran, who just won gold in the team pursuit, she lined up for South Australia in the race for bronze. They were disqualified. Extraordinary. And McGill in the home straight gets them underway, and there's Selena Ho. We saw how quick she was in the qualifying, and she's doing it again. Queensland just starting to let a little bit of distance between each other. This is Selena Ho. Have a look at her go. Go, 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 Ho, as she comes around half a lap in, now into the completed full lap, up and out of the way. Queensland coming through with a little bit of work to do.
But Queensland have the advantage now, coming around with the lap to go, 49.711 in the qualifying, a convincing win. New South Wales much closer.
Clinda Robinson trying to do the job for New South Wales, but it is Queensland that come away with the gold, 49.94, and Mengler Moore gets the job done for the Queenslanders.
Well, a little bit of controversy in the women's team sprint there, with South Australia being disqualified, but a fantastic gold medal to the Queenslanders. Queensland bringing home so much gold on a home track and in front of a home crowd. To finish off day 4 of these championships, Scott, we saw the men in the individual pursuit. It was a day for records and a day for upsets.
Good time for now. He's sort of matching the time he was able to do this afternoon, 4:10.1. That was a national championships record. It was a national record as well, beating the time from Jack Bobridge from quite a few years ago in the national championships in Sydney. He's now starting to get on top, Connor Lay. Bledden, he was holding strong for a while, but the gap now really starting to open up. And for Connor Lay, he comes round to get 1 lap to go. He may not catch Bledden. It doesn't matter. He'll get into his slipstream as he comes down the back straight. It's gold to Western Australia. The big, powerful Western Australian Connor Lay does a three-peat. 3 individual pursuit titles in a row. It's gold to Connor Lay in a time of 4:13.225. Doesn't break the record that he set earlier today, but hey, 4:13, that's super quick anyway. 3 national individual pursuit championships in a row for Connor Lay from Western Australia. An extraordinary performance. It's the penultimate night of competition wrapped up here. One more big one to go, Kate.
We've got some time trials happening tomorrow. A lot of points races, which keep us happy, and the Omnium as well. We will be back at 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday. That is local time. You can figure out the other time zones. Join us on SBS Facebook again. It'll be a cracker.